and welcome back to the Looking Stylish YouTube channel. This week I wanted to talk to you about getting party ready with your makeup routine and a little bit about hair as well. So let's get into the video. So with your party makeup, I think you can go a little bit more out there. If you're not used to wearing makeup very much, this is a good time to perhaps go and try a few new products beforehand, have a little bit of experimentation and find a look that you like. I would tend to, for the evenings, go much stronger with my eye makeup. And I would normally wear either a red lip or a more sort of berry coloured lip, depending on what colours I'm wearing. So today, for this particular example, I'm wearing one of my favourite tops in this lovely gold satin, and so I wanted to have a makeup that would have a little bit of sparkle to it. I wanted my eyes to stand out. I have gone against the ruling of either strong eyes or strong lip. I have done both. But I think that really comes down to your overall look, and because I have got quite strong dark eyes, I can get away with doing both. So if you've got much lighter colouring, then I would say perhaps pick one or the other, and I think light colouring can actually look fantastic with red lipstick as well. I did a couple of weeks ago a blog about lipstick colours to suit your colouring. So I will link that down in the description box for you, and that's got some examples of which products to look for as well. So I'm going to run you through what I've used on my face to give me this particular look, and a little bit on techniques and why I've used certain products as well. So the first thing that I use, once I've cleansed and toned and moisturised my face and made sure that I've got it well moisturised, and just one little myth here, don't think that moisturising will make your makeup go shiny. You do need the moisture on the skin, otherwise you'll find that your foundation will go into little balls on the face rather than sit nice and smoothly. And so make sure you do moisturise. And the way to counteract that oiliness is with powder. So I will come back to that in a minute. But the other thing that's really good to use is a primer. And there are so many on the market at the moment. The one that I particularly like is this MAC Prep and Prime Skin Base Visage. And the reason I like this one is because I do have some quite open pores on my face, and this blurs that out. It also gives your foundation a really good foundation to sit on. So I would recommend a primer. Even if you don't normally use one, I think they're a really good idea to use when you're doing a makeup that you want to last. So if it's a daytime event like a wedding, or if you're going to a party in the evening, then I think that's a really good starting point. The next thing that I've used is Charlotte Tilbury's Magic Foundation. Now again, foundation is quite a personal thing. I think it depends on what sort of coverage you want on your skin. During the daytime, I've said this before, I tend to use the Chanel CC Cream. I really like the way that evens out my skin tone. But when I'm going out in the evening and I want a little bit more coverage, I do like to use a foundation. I've got a couple that I like. I like the Chanel Le Beige foundation, but I also do like this Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation. Now the way that I use this is I put little spots on the skin, and then I use a foundation brush to blend that in. And then if there's anywhere that I want a little bit more coverage, I will just put a few more dots on over that. I've got some broken capillaries on the side of my nose, so I make sure that I add a little bit more foundation in there. And I'll use a beauty blender and just sort of dab that into place rather than rubbing. If you rub, it just takes the colour off. So that's my second step. And then to conceal under eyes, at the moment I'm using this NARS. It's Radiant Creamy Concealer. It's nearly run out, actually I need to get another one. But I put that in a small triangle underneath the eye. And again, rather than rubbing that, I tap that in with a beauty blender. And the colour, I should tell you the colour of my foundation as well. Mine is number 7 medium, the foundation, and This NARS concealer comes in an awful lot of colours. The one that I'm using is called Custard. It doesn't look like custard at all, but that's what it's called. So that's my next step. Now, something else that I do in the evening but don't necessarily do during the day is I do a little bit of contouring and highlighting. And I know that you can probably find hundreds of videos telling you how to do this. But the easiest thing to do, I think, is find something that's not too much darker than your skin tone to do a contour, and then just something, depending if you're cool skin toned, it would look quite pretty if you've got a pinky coloured shimmer. If you're warm skin tone, then you're going to be better with a sort of goldy coloured shimmer. So the one that I have been using, which combines both, is the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. This comes in a couple of colours. I have got the fair to medium here. You'll see that the bronzer that I'm actually using for the contouring isn't that dark. And I take that on a brush and I do it literally underneath where the cheekbone is, because what it's designed to do is to create a shadow that makes you look that you've got beautiful sculpted cheekbones. So a little bit in that crease under there, underneath the cheekbone. And then I also put a little bit underneath the jaw as well, so that if you've got any double chins, hopefully that will disguise those. So with cheeks and contouring and highlighting, it kind of goes in three layers upwards. So your contour you want to sit under the cheekbone, your blusher you want to sit on it, and then your highlighter comes right on the top of the cheekbone here. So I use the contour first, and then I put a little bit of the highlighter on, and once I've done that, I'll powder before I put blusher on. And the powder that I use for the evenings, I've mentioned this one before, it's a Laura Mercier one, and this is called Starlight. And I need to be careful because it's all over the place. The one I've got is probably better for a warm skin tone, the Starlight. They do another one which again has that sort of cooler shimmer to it. So if you have cool skin tone, you'll be better with the other one. But I'll link them both below and I'll say which is which so that you know. Then once I have, what I should say is I put a little cotton cuff in here and I dab it onto the skin and then brush downwards with a powder brush. And the reason that you brush downwards is that you're then smoothing down the little tiny fine hairs that you've got on the face. And that will take off the excess of the powder. Now I do sometimes also use an additional powder underneath the eyes where I've put concealer, and rather than using something that's got a shimmer in it, I will use just a matte powder, and I'll just use a tiny little brush to pop that on underneath the eyes. And then my next step is blusher. And as I said, once you've done your concealer underneath the bone, you've done your highlighter on the top, and then your blusher actually goes onto the cheeks. From about the iris, the middle of the iris, outwards and upwards. And again, it's another Charlotte Tilbury one I'm using. You can see I like this one, I've used it quite a lot. It's she does lots of colours of this, and it's got the two colours in it. The outside one is designed to be kind of your main blusher, and then the inner one is to give you a little pop of extra colour right underneath the centre of the eye, so that it makes you look like you've got those lovely cheekbones. And the colour that I'm using from that one is called Ecstasy, but again, loads of different colours of those. So that's really my kind of base and my beginning point finished, and then I start to move on to the eyes and the lips and the colour. And one product which I could not live without, and I use this literally day and night under every makeup, is the Bobbi Brown, and it's the Long Wear Cream Shadow. And I use this rather than an eye primer. I find if I go with a fairly neutral one, and this one is called Sandy Gold, I've used it for years, I've got through about 4 pots of this. It does last a long time, but I love it and I do use it all the time. So I put that on just over the eyelid and up just beyond the crease of the eye, and I use that as my primer. And the reason for that is because it lasts. I never get creased eyeshadow when I use this first. So I don't know, I just like the way it gives it a nice colour over the eyelid before I start adding other colours, and plus the fact that it lasts a long time. So it's not designed as a primer, but that is how I use it. And sometimes when I'm just doing a very quick day makeup, I'll just put that on and no other colours. So it just gives my eyes a little bit of a glimmer. And again, as I say, it lasts for ages. Now the colours that I've used today are greens. Hope you can see them. I'll try and do a closer up picture if it doesn't come out very well. And the one that I'm using, I don't know whether this is still available because it was from last year, but if not, I'll find something similar. It's a Clarins one, and it's called Forest. And it is designed to be used wet and dry. I haven't actually used it wet at all. I've just used those colours dry. And really the using it wet just makes the colour more intense, but actually I've really just used them as they are. So I've put the lightest colour all over the lid to start with, and then I've used this colour into the crease and in a little V at the corner of the eye. I'm blending that really, really well. And then I have used the outside colour just in the corner of the eye to give a little bit more definition. I didn't use the very darkest one. And then really make sure that you blend those colours together. Now, I'm no expert on application, so I'm telling you what I'm using rather than showing you what I'm using. If you would like me to do a better demonstration of how I actually put the colours on, then please do let me know. But as I say, there are so many great makeup artists out there that will show you how to put makeup on that, you know, I don't think that I could probably do as good a job as they do. A couple that I really like, just so that you know, Lisa Eldridge, that's her name. Lisa Eldridge has a really fantastic YouTube channel. She's got so many videos telling you, you know, how to do different makeup, concealing, highlighting, you know, everything. Mature makeup, all of that kind of thing. So I really like her. And the other person I absolutely love is a guy called Wayne Goss, and he is just gorgeous. He is just gorgeous. He's an absolute pleasure to watch, but he's really knowledgeable as well. So he has a YouTube channel. I'll link both of those for you as well. So anyway, back to the eyes. I have attempted to do a feline flick on the corner of the eye. I don't usually wear a really black eyeliner. I just fancied giving that a go today with the golds. I thought that would look quite nice. So I've literally just on the top literally on the top of the eyelid, I've just drawn a line out and then flicked it up at the corner. Now this you paint on, it's like a little felt tip pen. I don't know if you can see that. And you paint that on. It does dry quite quickly. So what I've done is I've painted the line on, and then I've taken a very fine eyeliner brush and then just neatened that up and blended it in a little bit. So that's the only eyeliner that I've used, and then what I did do was I went back with this colour just underneath the eye. So I've only got eyeliner on the top and then this lightest colour just underneath the eye. And then for mascara, I always curl my eyelashes now. Years ago I never used to bother, and I didn't really think that it made any difference, and I think it was probably because I wasn't doing it properly. But now I always do, and I have to say it really does make a difference. It lifts the eyelashes up and just makes your eyes look bigger. So even without putting mascara on, it already gives the eyes a little bit more oomph. And then I have used two mascaras. I've used the Benefit Bad Girl Bang, and that, I think it's just in black. Yeah, I think it's just a black one. So I've used that one on the upper lashes, and I've just literally coated the lower lashes. I didn't really want too much on the bottom lashes, so I've really gone making the top lashes look longer and thicker. So I've used Bad Girl Bang, and then once that's dried, I have used a Chanel one. Now this one I don't think you can get anymore because I think it was a limited edition, but I will find something else, and it's actually in a green. And I love this. I put this on and it just really does something to make my eyes pop. I think it's the colour, because greens, darker greens do work really well on a dark brown eye. So I've done a second coat with that. And then that's really the base and most of the colour done apart from the lips. And once I finish with that, I put on a finishing spray to set the makeup. Again, there are lots of these around. I know Urban Decay do about 3 or 4 different ones. The one I'm currently using is the MAC Prep and Prime one, Fix. Yeah, it's just called Fix Plus. So I'll link that, I'll link some other ones as well. But that really does make your makeup last all night and stay put. So once I've done that, finally it's on to lips. And the lipstick that I've used today is an Urban Decay one. It's actually one of my favourite Christmassy reds. It's not a Christmas lipstick, but for me it feels like a Christmas because it's got red in it. It's red, but it's got almost a lovely sparkle in it as well. And this one it's metallized. They do different formulations, so you've got a matte one, you've got a shimmer one, but this is the metallized one, and it's called Cruel. So I will link that for you as well. Another good red, which obviously I've got warm skin tone, so that one is probably going to be too warm if you have a cool skin tone. But look back at that lipstick blog and you will find some on there. But this one, which is actually quite good as well, for any skin tone, is from Bobbi Brown, and it's just their lip colour, because again they have different formulations, and it's Burnt Red number 9. That one I really like as well, but it is a little bit matte, so I like, if I use that, to perhaps put something over the top of it. I've used the two together before as well. And then a third one that I'm really liking is a Dior one, and this is cool. It's Rouge Dior 636 On Fire, and that one is more of a sort of orangey red. So those are my 3 sort of evening go-to reds. And that's it. Then, oh sorry, I should tell you how I put the lipstick on. What I usually do, and this is what makes lipstick last, somebody said to me the other day, how does your lipstick last all day? I've had people say that to me before. The way I do it, I put a lip pencil on around the outer edges of the lip to get the shape. I then fill in the lip with the lip pencil. I then put the lipstick on with a lip brush. I then blot with a tissue, another layer of the lipstick, and that's it. And that will last you, well for me it lasts through drinking coffee, eating my lunch. You know, I rarely have to, when I do my lipstick properly like that, I rarely have to top it up. But then if I do, once I've got that base on there, if I do go out to a party and I've had a few drinks and I want to top up my lipstick, I literally just do it from the bullet and top it up like that. And I find that because I've got that sort of base colour that's really set in, it lasts really well. So that's it for the makeup. I also found a couple of nail varnishes. I didn't put one on today because I was putting other different colours on. So a couple that I think are really nice for the evening. And I have finally given up on the Chanel nail varnishes. I do love them. I do have a lot of them. but they really don't last on my nails. So I thought, okay, I'm going to try something else. And I bought these little Mavala ones because they are tiny little pots. I thought, you know, it's not like I'm going to waste a whole load if they don't work for me. But actually I tried one and I really liked it, so I bought 2 more. So the 3 that I've got, there's a red one, which is called Moscow, which is really nice for the evening. I've then also got a plummy one, which is called Las Vegas. That would be good for cooler and deeper. And then I've got a sort of brighter, more orangey one, which is called Juicy. So I'm really liking those. And yeah, so I've given up on my Chanel ones. Haven't thrown them out yet though. Okay, so that's it. That's the complete makeup, a little bit on nails. With hair, I've been using the Living Proof products, which you may have seen in my Instagram stories if you watch or look at Instagram. I really like the products. I was given a few bits in Dallas when I went this year, started using them, absolutely loved them. And the one product which I think is a holy grail product is this one, Living Proof, and it's the Full Dry Volume Blast. So it's a little bit like, well, I guess it is a hairspray, but what it does is it just seems to make your style last. I can go to bed and sleep and get up in the morning and my style is still there. So I absolutely love this. So what I've been doing is I have been using, I basically shampooed and dried my hair, just rough dried my hair to create my curls. At the moment I'm using a curling tong, and then when I use this I lift the hair up and spray upwards, because if you spray down you're kind of flattening it down. So to get your volume, lift the hair up and spray into the hair. And what I also like about this, it smells nice, but also it's not sticky or crunchy. It, you know, your hair still feels, I mean, I can feel it a little bit, but it doesn't feel unpleasant. So that is definitely one of my recommendations for party beauty. So that's it, that's my party face. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope it was informative. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, then I would love it if you did. If you click the little bell, you'll get a notification when I release my next video. And if you have any questions or you want to know about any colours or anything like that, then please leave your comments down below and I will get back to you. If you would like to see more of a tutorial of how I do my makeup, then please let me know. I'm happy to do it. As I said, I'm no expert, but I'm very happy to show you what I do. So just let me know. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.